Isang mula na mo ron chumena matagni ko ni rongo ni bibo ko matagni ke misa po. Niya na isang mula na sero ko ni sana. Chumena kino na mo ron chumay. Tu na sile. Isang mula oyo Mr. Ben.
Kela po.
Na magkikira ni bibo mataka mo ni chikira mo ron buka may na ono kinadiwa na Bula FM.
Ang pala.
This is FBC News. I'm Jackie Spate. In this bulletin, Land Transport Authority board revoked. Prime Minister Burenge Bainimarama says no referendum on flag change. And Alex O'Connor is newest Fiji First Member Parliament. The Transport Ministry has revoked the current board members of the Land Transport Authority. Transport Minister Parveen Kumar has revoked the appointment of the current 4 members on the 4th of this month. This was done after meeting with the board members. The minister will appoint 7 new board members this week. This will include the CEO. On Wednesday, a review committee will also be appointed, as well as the complaints unit in 3 divisions, the North, West and in the Central Division.
What we want this time around in the board, we want to have mixture of people who have got background in the industry. We want to have some business people. We want to operate LTA as a commercial arm. We want to see that it's operated that way.
Meanwhile, motorists with vehicles off the road for extended periods have been given a 12-month amnesty on outstanding registration charges to enable them to use their vehicles again. Prime Minister Burenge Bainimarama says there will be no referendum on the change of the national flag. Bainimarama was responding to an oral question by the opposition leader Rotemu Mukepa, who asked that given the overwhelming negative reaction to the plans to change the Fiji flag, if a referendum would now be seriously considered. Maggie Boyle with the story.
To hold a referendum or not to hold a referendum, that is the question. Prime Minister Burenge Bainimarama with a very curt response.
Madam Speaker, the simple answer is no.
But the response did not quell the debate. The leader of opposition, Rotemu Mukepa, continuing her line of questioning.
When Fiji First was out campaigning last year, they loved the flag so much that they had it on their buses, they had it in the taxis. Honourable Speaker was wearing it.
Thank you.
Honourable Speaker was wearing it, Madam Speaker.
Thank you.
So 87%, Madam Speaker, want to say in whether the flag is to be changed or not.
And the question?
And 66% want a referendum.
Speaker of the House, Dr. Chico Luveni, however, interjected and clarified that the original question was based on an allegation that there was a majority of people who did not want the flag change and that this could not be substantiated by the media alone. And another supplementary question, opposition MP Semesa Karavaki asked Bainimarama to explain why his response was so short.
I wanted to work closely with the Fijian people to reach a consensus on a more appropriate expression of our nation and who we are today. Rather, what we were at the end of the colonial era almost half a century ago.
Opposition Nico Nawaikula also weighing in on the topical debate.
The question is this: the public is entitled to know the total cost of this project. Could you tell us the total cost of this project and whether it is part of the budget?
Bainimarama says they will reveal the costs later. Submissions for a new Fiji flag have been extended until the 31st of December due to an overwhelming response to the 23 shortlisted flag designs. A new national flag will be unveiled next year. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
And a little while ago, Prime Minister Burenge Bainimarama issued a statement on the flag. He says he believes the mood for change is strong and the challenge is to find a design that speaks to everyone. Bainimarama says feedback teams visiting a range of communities have found that the Fijian people definitely agree on the need to change the existing flag. The wait was worth it. These were the words of the newest Member of Parliament, Lautoka businessman Alex O'Connor. He was sworn into the House of Representatives today. Maggie Boyle again with this story.
Close to 10 months since the general elections, and the newest Fiji First MP, Alex O'Connor, is basking in the limelight.
First of all, the wait was worth it.
In his maiden speech, O'Connor, while thanking his family, talked at large about the government's achievements since September. He also elaborated on what he'll be lobbying for.
Although I come from an engineering background, I count myself as an advocate of the environment and green growth, having been brought up in the dense forests of Dole Suba in the late 50s and 60s.
O'Connor says he expects to know later this week whether he'll be offered a portfolio or committee duties. Maggie Boyle, FBC News.
Work carried out by the committee dealing with the return of extinct Matangali and Yavusa land is moving ahead steadily. The committee began its work in 2002. Eleanor Tarangai reports.
Opposition parliamentarian Moses Mboletavo asked the Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama in Parliament for a progress report on the return of extinct land belonging to Matangali or land-owning clan and Yavusa. Bainimarama says work involves creating a new register of Itoke lands, or RTL, for lands under both Schedule A and Schedule B.
Schedule A lands and Schedule B lands, 260 parcels is transferred from the state to TLTB. 176 parcels have been allotted to Yavusa and other claimants. Brings about 68% completion. That's the update right now on the extinct Matangali and Yavusa lands.
Schedule A lands are those portions whose ownership is extinct during the first sitting of the Lands Commission and whose ownership is known, but there are no surviving members. Schedule B is those portions of land whose ownership was not determined during the first sitting of the Lands Commission and for which there were no claimants. Bainimarama says 844 parcels of land were transferred from the state to the Itoke Lands Trust Board. Of these total, 782 parcels have been allocated to the Yavusa and other claimants, while 62 parcels are currently being processed. Bainimarama says this brings about 93% completion. Eleanor Tarangai, FBC News.
Recipients of the Tertiary Education Scholarship and Loan Scheme will only start repaying their loans once they find employment. This was clarified by Education Minister Dr. Mahendra Reddy in Parliament today. Shireen Lata reports.
Opposition member Professor Biman Prasad today asked the Education Minister whether the loan repayment will be considered given the scarcity of employment to graduates. However, Dr. Mahendra Reddy says there are provisions for the recipients.
They don't have jobs, they don't have to pay, Madam Speaker. Unless and until they get jobs, then they will pay.
The minister also highlighted the benefits of the TELS scheme.
TELS students have more flexibility to move to global labour market because if they wish to migrate without saving the bond period, they only have to pay 150% of their loan, whereas the toppers have to pay 200%.
3% of TELS students have so far paid their loans and migrated. A total of 9,807 students are studying under the TELS scheme, while 834 students are benefiting through the National Toppers scheme. Shireen Lata, FBC News.
Questions were raised on government's 5-year National Development Plan in Parliament today. The government has so far received 143 reports from its consultations. Ellen Stahls reports.
A wide range of issues was put forward by the public during the government's consultations on the 5- and 20-year National Development Plan. NFP leader Professor Biman Prasad asked why economic reports from the People's Charter were not included in the development plan.
It would be obtuse to say that only one document like the Charter can be the sole source of information for a development plan. It is not a socialist issue.
Opposition member Bill Ngavoka says villagers have been raising these same issues for some time now.
It was embarrassing for the Turanikoro to go round up the people to come to the meetings, Madam Speaker, because they say all these things have been said in the Tikina Council.
Osese Mbulitavu questioned the transparency of the development plan and where the money was going to come from to fund these plans.
The money is every year the budget is presented. which has infrastructure plans. They weren't here. That's right. Thank you, Honourable Minister. Thank you. I was just coming to that. They weren't here last year, Madam Speaker. And in that, the development plan, Madam Speaker, helps us to prioritise.
216 meetings will be held in the Central Division, 119 in the Western Division, 108 in the Eastern Division, and 148 in the Northern Division. Ellen Stahls, FBC News.
Still to come on FBC News, 4 men appear in court for fish theft.
If you just joined us on the System After Dark, this is a homegrown number courtesy of E3 and Cracker. Bulla, how's it going? I'm D, your host on the System After Dark, right here on Today FM. Today's hit music. You can catch me weeknights at 7 p.m. That's from Monday to Friday, only on the home of Today's hit music. And don't forget, that's D with you every weeknight on the System After Dark.
Parliament has unanimously approved the establishment of an Emoluments Committee to look into the determination of the salary of the President and members of the government. The motion was moved by Leader of Government Ines Seruiratu. The committee will be made up of government MPs Choneo Somate, Veena Bhatnagar, Sanjit Patel and opposition MPs Tupon Ranidalo and Salote Randrondro. It will look into the wages determination and investigate and then report to Parliament its findings.
The Emoluments Committee shall, one, commission an independent organisation to consider the appropriate level of remunerations for the President, the Prime Minister, other ministers and assistant ministers, the Leader of the Opposition, the Speaker, the Deputy Speaker and members of Parliament. And two, review the independent considerations and report back to Parliament with recommendations no later than Monday, 24th August 2015.
The motion was seconded by opposition MP Mosese Mbulitavu. 4 men appeared in the Suva Magistrates Court this afternoon for allegedly stealing fish from the Suva Millers Wharf in Wallaby last week. Daniel Mario, Tuwai Matakimbao, Patrick Fenn and Mosese Vonovono are charged with 1 count each of theft. 29-year-old Mario, 21-year-old Matakimbao and 47-year-old Fenn are security personnel from different companies. They are alleged to have colluded with 29-year-old Vonovono, who works as a cadet engineer with Solander Fishing Company, to steal the fish worth about $7,800 from the company's freezer on the 1st of this month. No plea was taken. All 4 have been further remanded. There are currently 1,500 public rental board units around the country. Housing Minister Pravin Kumar revealed this in Parliament in response to a question by opposition MP on government's plan for rental housing development. Kumar says the ministry is working with PRB to meet the high demand for housing.
2014 and 2015 PRB program, our Colombo PRB rental housing project with 36 rental housing units funded by the government for the sum of $1.8 million and will house the 36 families.
The government will implement similar housing projects in the Northern and Western Divisions. The Housing Authority of Fiji will work towards providing affordable housing to meet the housing needs of people in the country. Chief Executive Officer Joshua Wycliffe made the comment as he took up his new appointment with the authority. Ali Kimbia has more.
Housing is one of the major areas of concern in the country, and the Housing Authority of Fiji will have to go through certain challenges to provide affordable housing.
A key challenge we face is to, given the rising costs of construction and real estate, and which is not just contained to Fiji, it's globally the same everywhere around the world. The costs of constructions and real estate, marketing, sales have gone up, and be able to keep it at an affordable cost with a conventional construction, it makes it a lot more a challenge.
Wycliffe says they will need to work closely with local and international partners to improve the services they provide.
So being able to collaborate with technologies from overseas and being able to bring those technologies here, bring those best practices here, and then being able to apply it. Of course, obviously, that whole process will have to go through the compliance, local regulatory compliance in Fiji, and then once proven, then we can move on with constructing those.
The Housing Authority of Fiji will work towards providing affordable housing to the people, as well as effective customer service efficiency. Ali Kimbia, FBC News.
3 technical colleges operated by the Education Ministry are currently in operation, and there are plans to introduce 7 more by January next year. Minister Dr. Mahendra Reddy told Parliament a few schools will be converted into technical colleges. Reddy was replying to a question from government parliamentarian Balminder Singh.
What we are looking at is converting infrastructure which now no longer serves the original need when it was established then, particularly schools.
Schools like Nawatha Primary School in Boa, Navo Level Primary School in Wainikoro, and Nandronga Navosa High School could be turned into technical colleges. Vision Fiji has donated storybooks to FBC's locally produced show Just Kids. The non-governmental organisation promotes children's literacy and develops essential foundation for their learning by engaging teachers, parents and the community. The group's chairperson Linda Tambuya says children are the bright future and reading is something they should continue with.
The power of media, the power of vision, the power of sound, and reading is that, you see and you hear and you read, and children will be able to connect through watching the books, the same books read on TV.
Just Kids presenter Courtney Underwood says reading helps children improve their imagination. And on that note, Jamie joins you now with sports and the latest from the Pacific Games.
That's right, Jackie. Good evening. After the break, we take a look at how Team Fiji is doing at the Pacific Games in Papua New Guinea. And we get an update from the Flying Fijians to take on the Maori All Blacks at the end of the week. This and more coming up.
Gold FM, only the classic hits. Beautiful song from the group Firehouse and When I Look Into Your Eyes. Before that, you heard from Smokey Robinson with One Heartbeat. We'll take a short break and join us in the next hour for more music from Seal. Bulavanaka. I'm DJ Tora. Join me every weekdays, 7 until midnight on the Premium Classics. Right here on Gold FM, only the classic hits.
Fijian weightlifter Tevita Tawai has added another gold to Team Fiji's medal tally at the Pacific Games in Papua New Guinea. Tawai won the men's 69 kg clean and jerk with a concluding lift of 157 kg. He finished third overall to nail a bronze medal with a total of 267 kilograms. Micronesia's Manuel Mingingfield won gold while Samoa's Patrick Pasia took out silver. Fijian swimmers William Clark and Gordon Thompson have qualified for the next round of the men's 50-meter backstroke. This as the two finished second and third respectively in the heats behind Papua New Guinea's Ryan Pinney. Clark recorded 27.76 seconds and Thompson managed 28.37 seconds. Veteran Carl Probert failed to make the next round, finishing fourth in his heat. In the women's events, Caroline Pomau clocked the fastest time in the 100-meter freestyle heats with 59.33 seconds. Matilita Mbondromo clocked 59.36 seconds and will also feature in the next round. The two will be joined by Cheyenne Rover, who clocked 59.95 seconds. Meanwhile, Matilita Mbondromo will also feature in the final of the women's 400 meters individual medley. Mbondromo outclassed the heat with a convincing first-place finish and is one of the top bets for the event.
Well, we're now looking to see if she can get underneath the time, which she hasn't.
She hasn't.
No. So right off the pace. But I would suggest that the next heat with Lara Gronjan, New Caledonia, should be the one that will try and do the break. 5:24.23, your winner. The leader, Madramo from Fiji.
The Fiji men's basketball side recorded its third win in 4 matches at the games today. Fiji defeated American Samoa 68-57. Fiji had earlier recorded wins against Papua New Guinea and Nauru, but went down to Papua New Guinea 75-73 last night. That was PNG's first win over Fiji in 26 years. In women's cricket, Fiji beat the Cook Islands by 71 runs. Fiji batted first and managed 167 runs for the loss of 4 wickets after it was allotted 20 overs. In reply, the Cooks managed only 96 runs for the loss of 7 wickets in 20 overs. On the medal tally, Fiji has 4 gold medals, 1 silver and 6 bronze, and is in second place. As of 5 p.m. this afternoon, PNG still leads with 6 gold, 2 silver and a bronze medal. Australia is third with 2 gold and 4 silver medals. Only 5 days remain until the Vodafone Flying Fijians get its 2015 campaign underway. Coach John McKee has yet to announce his lineup for the Maori All Blacks match this weekend, but promises it will be one of the strongest sides yet. Talen Daudakadaka has more.
The slight drizzle in Suva did not dampen the spirits in the Flying Fijian side as they prepare for the Maori All Blacks. Most of today's session focused on their defense pattern to disrupt the Kiwis' strong counter-attacking game.
We believe that the New Zealand Maori will really try to counter-attack, so we need to obviously clear our zone firstly, but also make sure we've got a good kick chase so we cut off any opportunity to counter-attack.
Harlequins rep Aseli Tukurutuma joined camp last night and might miss selection for this weekend's match, but is optimistic of his chances for the Pacific Nations Cup.
Whatever happens, I don't mind because people were here last week, so they deserve to start. And just for me, I just got to fight and keep fighting for spot, hopefully next week or the week after, for as long as I can. Yeah.
McKee will name his lineup for the Maori clash tomorrow. The team is hopeful the fans will come out in numbers to support them as they begin their journey to the Rugby World Cup in September. Silent Otakadak, FBC Sports.
That's it from sports this evening. It's back to Jackie now with business.
The successes of the Pacific Agriculture Research for Development Initiative workshop is evident in those who have been able to improve their businesses after partaking in the training. 2 such individuals are 55-year-old Malakai Ratumbuli and Nazmi Nisha Azam. Ritika Pratap reports.
A group from Ba who had very little art and craft skills are now producing these goods using the mother-of-pearl shells. They were trained under the Pacific Agriculture Research for Development Initiative, which is funded by the Australian Centre for International Agriculture Research.
Phase 1 we started to do the grinding and just like manually. We are doing manually. From the second phase they bring more machines from there, from Australia, and now our workshop is like a professional one.
Another success story of Padi is 55-year-old Malakai Ratumbuli, a tomato farmer of Singatoka Valley.
We have an old way of farming, as we know, as our forefathers did, but they came in with a new technology this time, meaning that you can farm a small piece of land and you get more money out of it. Instead, like before, we just plant acres and acres of land with maize like that and you get nothing.
Ratumbuli, who has 5 laborers working for him, supplies tomatoes to the Fijian resort and Intercontinental in Natandola all year round.
I get 1,000 plus a week. Imagine that. That's the kind of money an old man like me, 55-year-old farmer, can still earn in my 2.5 acres of land.
The success stories of Padi's 5-year pilot project were showcased at a market day in Lame. Padi operated some 16 projects in Fiji and the Pacific in its Phase 1 project. Ritika Pratap, FBC News.
Showers were experienced over most places today. A trough lies slow-moving over Vanuatu. Meanwhile, in east to southeast, winds flow prevails over most southwest Pacific Island countries. In temperatures in most places reached its 30s today. Ba recorded 32 degrees, Nandi and Lautoka 31, while Mombasa had 30 degrees. Suva and Savu Savu were the coolest at 26 degrees. And tomorrow, fine apart from brief showers over the interior and eastern parts of the larger islands. Outlook for Wednesday, fine apart from brief showers about the eastern and interior of the larger islands, cool at night. And recapping the top stories. Minister for Transport Parveen Bala revokes appointment of Land Transport Authority board members. Prime Minister Vorenge Bainimarama says there won't be a referendum for the change in a new national flag. And Lautoka businessman Alex O'Connor has been sworn in as Member of Parliament for Fiji First. Now to our poll segment. And the results from last week, 68% said no. This week we're asking, can Fiji win the 2015 Pacific Games? Visit our FBC website to take part. Remember, you can send us newsworthy pictures and videos on email citizenseyes@fbc.com.fj or share it with us via Facebook page, FBC News. And if you're on Twitter, follow and tweet us your news tips at FBC_news or simply hashtag FBC News. You've been watching FBC News. I'm Jackie Spade. Good night.
घर संसार में आपका स्वागत है। आपका अपना छोटा सा स्वर, जहाँ प्यार भरे रिश्ते पलते हैं, जहाँ हेल्थी रहने की सलाह दी जाती है, जहाँ हम आपको और भी सुंदर बनाते हैं और जहाँ स्वाद की सौगात भी है। नमस्कार, मैं हूँ पल्लवी। सोमवार से शुक्रवार 9 से 12 तक रेडियो फिजी 2 देश की धड़कन पर घर संसार में शामिल रहिए मेरे साथ।
ऐसा सुंदर सपना अपना